everybody. Welcome back to Happily Booked, the bookcast where two kindred spirits believe that the pursuit of happiness is the same thing as reading a good book and being able to talk about it. Woo. We're your hostesses, Brooke and
Beck.
And welcome back. I have not watched the edited version of our book tag video. I'm excited to see it. I hope you enjoyed it.
Just wait.
Yeah, I know. So excited. I really enjoyed that one. I think that was a really good book tag. If anybody has any book tag suggestions, that's the word. Email us.
Yes.
So we can talk about it and
yes,
think about it and stuff. I like doing book tags. Sometimes it's hard to like find one. Like that one was so good. Like it was a full-length episode. And it wasn't just like super like hardcover paperback. Paperback. Okay. Like it felt like we went a little more in depth.
Yeah.
So I liked that a lot. Anyway, so it's been 2 weeks since we recorded because we recorded that and the previous episode all in the same day.
Right.
And then I went out of town and here I am. So we went to Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently this year, they really haven't been getting a lot of snow.
Really?
It was still enough, like, on the ski slopes for them to go ski and snowboard.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, everywhere else really wasn't snowy.
Oh, that's weird.
I know. And so I just hung out at the Airbnb really most of the time. It was nice to have some just quiet time where I could read. And that's what I did as best as I could. Because I dropped them off at the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, okay, I go get an iced coffee. We've all eaten breakfast together, so I go get an iced coffee, though, because, I'm on vacation. And go back to the Airbnb, and I'm like, gonna read. But then it's, like, not even 2 or 3 hours passes, and it's like, oh, time for lunch. So then I leave. We all eat lunch. And then they go back again, and then I go back, and then it's like literally by then it's only 3 more hours. So
Mm-hmm.
It's like I have plenty of time to read, but at the same time it's like, do I? So I didn't get through as many books as I wanted to. That's not why I started talking about Colorado. I was talking about the amount of snow. So I hadn't really been snowing, and until the day we were leaving, and we packed up the night before. We left on Thursday. So we packed up Wednesday night and everything. And then Thursday morning, sorry, I'm popping my knuckles. We were getting ready to leave. So I went outside to our rental car and was putting everything in the van. And I opened our Airbnb door and it was like a whole new world. It snowed overnight.
Oh.
And it was like literally a night and day difference. Like it was crazy.
Wild.
And it was so untouched. Like nobody had even been outside yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my gosh. And it was still snowing. It was a little light, but it was still snowing. So we were like, okay, so put stuff in the van. And we're done with our Airbnb, did everything you're supposed to do. When we were leaving, Austin was driving to the airport. Thank God. Because I had been driving the whole time because technically I was the driver on the Don't Tell budget. I was the driver, but I didn't want to drive back to Denver just because I'm the passenger princess. Austin drives, but he had been injured, and I was like, "Are you sure you want to drive? Like, I'll drive. I don't want to, but I will because you're in pain." He was like, "No, it's fine," and thank God he drove. Because I swear, we went through what we would have called like a blizzard. It was insane. I took a video and I'll show you. And if I can give it to you, you can put it in the...
Yeah.
And plenty of other... I mean...
Email it to
Here
me.
in Georgia, this was way too much snow. Not anywhere else that gets snow regularly. It's going to be... that's Stetson.
Oh.
That's a long time ago. It's going to be like, Brooke, calm down. It's really not that bad. But, so that was when we first going.
Wow.
This was before we hit, that's not it. We were all stopped.
Wow.
Couldn't see anything.
I wouldn't have wanted to drive in that either.
And I was like,
giving misery.
oh, I was giving Misery by Stephen King.
That's hilarious. Did you post that on Snapchat?
I did. So I didn't save it without that, so lucky
okay.
everybody else.
I was going to say, that's
it's
very
kind of
funny.
perfect, actually.
It is.
So we were like, oh my gosh, we have got to get to the airport. We're all stuck, and we're in a minivan. No tire chains. No, nothing like that. We're just in a minivan.
Tires.
I know, and we were good as long as you could keep going.
Like a Jeep or something.
We always request a truck, but they didn't have one, so they were like, how about that Mitsubishi, whatever it was, and we were like, I don't think so. No offense. But it also didn't fit everything they had. Like a snowboard, skis.
Oh,
like,
wow.
It wasn't going to fit.
Right.
So they were like, okay, how about a minivan? And Austin was like, well, normally minivans are like really expensive to get, and I'm comfortable driving a minivan. And he was like, sure, we'll take a van. That van they gave us one that somebody had wrecked.
What?
It was like, what? And then I went to just adjust the rearview mirror.
Did it fall off?
Yes, it fell right off. I was like, what? I don't think so. So literally when I went to pick them back up that day my bad, that it fell off, Austin just put it back. He fixed it. But it was like such a poor design, and like it was just we didn't even notice. We never this is something we've realized we need to do now. We never go around look at the rental car before we take off, because most of the time they're fine. And we had already left, and we stopped somewhere, and we were going back to the car, and we were like, was that there before? And it was like the driver's side mirror was damaged, and there was like the big yellow like concrete poles. It looked like somebody had hit that with the car, with the side of the van. And we were like, did somebody hit us? Because we didn't look, and it's so bright out there, and the van was white. Like, it was hard to tell, and we never really approached the van at that angle until then.
Right.
We were like, if they try to tell us that, we have to pay for it.
But they didn't?
No. So far. So, I'm assuming it was already in their, like, database that had been damaged. We were...
Wow, that is insane.
I know! Anyway, so... yeah, it was definitely giving Misery by Stephen King. I was like, oh my gosh, we're gonna be stranded. Once you get through once we got through, like, the Eisenhower Tunnel and through all that, it pretty much lightened up. And closer to Denver, like, it wasn't even snowing, so there was no... in the desert. It wasn't bad once you get through that initial thing. And plus, just constantly, there's like, what were they called? They were tow trucks, but like mountain something. And they're just constantly driving around to pull people out and stuff. So it's not like it would have been the end of the world, but I don't know if I saved the video. It's nice that
they have like a little search and rescue.
Yes. So this was when I woke up at the Airbnb.
Oh, wow. That's beautiful.
Yeah. Maybe I'll send her that picture, and it'll be, like, right there. Maybe. I'll definitely send you the little video. Anyway, so don't really know why I said all that, except just to talk about us being stranded, possibly, and that it was giving Misery. I was scared. But it was fine. It worked out. Because I wouldn't have wanted to drive in that. So I was like, thank God. Sorry, you're injured, but you did say you could drive. So, good for him. He's a good driver, even when he's injured. Yeah. Besides our sheriff, he's always a good driver. Okay, so, yeah, 2 weeks have gone by then since we have recorded. Let's see if I've even read anything.
I'm sure you have.
Oof, I bet you've... Let me guess.
You're so modest.
Should we do hauls after?
Whatever you want to do.
I kind of liked the hauls after when we did it.
Okay.
Do you feel... Unless you don't...
That's fine.
Do you want to do that?
I'm switching pages.
Okay.
I was on my haul page.
Okay. You were ready.
I was ready.
Do you have a quote?
No.
See, I'm not that ready. Me either. It's okay. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about it. Not gonna worry about it.
No quote today for you.
Yeah. So then, have you finished anything since 2 weeks ago? I bet you finished 4 things.
3.
That was close. It's like 2 per week.
Okay. So I finished reading Dead on the Doleman.
Okay.
And I was watching the video when I was editing it, and I got to thinking, I might be pronouncing his name wrong. It's Cameron, it's spelled like Frost with a T, but I said Trost, so I'm like, is it Trost or Trost? I don't know.
Yeah.
But I follow him on Facebook, so, and Dead on the Doleman was about these guys, and I looked it up. He lives in Brittany. Brittany. I don't know why I said it that way. He lives in Brittany. And the book was actually, it takes place in Brittany. Because I had said something about they might be Cornish. I don't know. Because their accents are Cornish. But anyway, so it takes place in Brittany. And it's about this dad and his son who live in the family home. And the dad is being blackmailed by somebody. And they don't know what's going on. But also, possibly the same person who's blackmailing him or a different person or being is terrorizing him at night. And at the beginning, I'm like, is it the Grim Reaper or is it someone dressed like the Grim Reaper? So it turns out it was someone dressed like the Grim Reaper. I guess that might ruin it a little bit for you. Sorry. I won't tell you if it was the person who was, what's it called? I just said it. He was wanting money. What's it called when you not bribe? Oh my God.
Oh, blackmail.
Blackmail. Old lady. Okay.
We did it.
Together. Our brains combined.
All 4 brain cells.
I'm not going to tell you if it was the same person who was blackmailing him or not. But then there's a murder, and they find a decapitated head on the Doleman. And then there's a second murder, and I won't tell you who that is. And then this detective that they've hired to help them with the Anku, which is the Grim Reaper, he solves the murder. And it was very good. It was very well done. I enjoyed it. It's written like a cozy mystery.
Okay.
So like there was not any bad language really. And there was no sexual stuff that was like, okay, that's more than I want to know.
Yeah.
There was none of that. It was really, really good. I enjoyed it a lot. Okay. So that was good. Dead on the Doleman.
So even the decapitated head wasn't too graphic though?
Yeah, it didn't like, it just said that it looked like it was a clean cut, like a scythe would have cut it. I mean, it.
Oh yeah, Grim Reaper the scythe, yeah.
Yeah, for anyone who reads murder mysteries, like it was nothing out of the ordinary from a murder mystery.
Okay.
It wasn't overly descriptive or anything. Then I finished My Bondage and My Freedom by Fredrick Douglass.
Yeah.
And I think in another video I had said that Fredrick was never beaten. He just witnessed beatings. That's not true. And I don't know if he just didn't go into detail in his first book, so I just assumed he wasn't.
Yeah.
Or if he said something that made me think that he wasn't, but he definitely was beaten. He did not have any good masters, really. I mean, I think he had like 2 good masters. They didn't beat him. I mean,
yeah. I guess that's better than being beat.
But he did go into detail about like a few of the beatings he received, and I did the story I told about where he grabbed the guy who tried to beat him and he beat him up instead, or he kept him from beating him up. That story was more detailed in the second one, My Bondage and My Freedom. That was also, by the way, that was like my favorite part of the book when he talked
justice.
Right. It was very good. It talked about how people up north had better life quality or quality of life than even the wealthy Southerners. Like you could be a poor person up north and you have better living conditions than the wealthy people of the South.
That's interesting.
I think it was because they were industrialized in the north, and we didn't have industry in the south.
Right. And I feel like nowadays that's almost swapped.
Yeah. So, well, because it's the cost of living is cheaper here.
Right.
So you can have a bigger, better house here than you can up north in some places.
Yeah.
So, but that was a really good story. I really recommend everyone read that. My favorite one that I've read so far. I want to see the movie, but Emma said that we need to watch it on VidAngel because I think there's nudity.
Yeah, there's
and that would make sense for any of these books, except for the Booker T. Washington book that I read, because they talk about how like they made them take off their clothes and beat them, and I don't want to make this an R-rated show, but like, you know,
E for explicit.
They sexually molested the female slaves, and she did say there was a rape scene in the movie, but it's 12 Years a Slave.
That's what I was gonna guess.
By Solomon Northup. This book was so good, and it had an even better scene in it. I was disappointed. Emma found the scene online for me to watch, and I wanted it to be what it was in my head, and it was very disappointing. But there's a scene in the book where Solomon, who goes by Platt, because the people who kidnapped him, I'm pretty sure they drugged him. He said he got very sick, and he woke up a few days later, and he was a slave. Yeah, I feel like he was drugged.
That seems.
And so anyway, they had told him, you can't give people your name, we'll kill you. You can't tell people you're from up north, we'll kill you. So he went by Platt and supposedly was from Georgia when he was not. So anyway, he was originally sold to a Master Ford, if I understand or remember the story correctly. And that man sold him to someone named Tibbets. But Tibbets couldn't afford him. He was like $400. So he mortgaged him. And to work off
Insane.
I know. So to work off his mortgage, they did work on Master Ford's plantation. And so, though he belonged to Tibbets, he didn't really. So one day, Tibbets told him, in the morning, I want you to go to the overseer and tell him you want a keg of nails because I want you to nail up boards on this outbuilding. And he did what he was told. He went the next morning to the overseer, and he told the overseer, he waited for him to wake up. First of all, he wasn't awake yet. But he didn't want to wake him up because he didn't want to make him mad for waking him up. So he waited, and he told him, I need a keg of nails. Master Tibbets asked me to get a keg of nails. So he went in and got him a keg, and he said, this is not the right size nail. When I come in from the fields, let me know, and I'll get you the right size. So Solomon, or as they knew him, Platt, takes the nails to the outbuilding, and he starts nailing on the boards that he was told to do. Tibbets comes out hour or two later, whatever it was, because he's lazy, and says, he's hollering at him, I thought I told you to nail the boards on this building. And he said, I'm doing that, master.
Right now.
And he said, where are you doing that? He said, on the back of the building. So he went around to the back of the building, and he said, I thought I told you to get a keg of nails. And he said, I did, master. They're right here. And he said, these are the wrong size. And he said, the overseer told me if they were the wrong size when he comes in from the field, he'll get us a different keg. That wasn't good enough for Tibbets. He goes in the house and gets a whip. He's going to whip him. There's a little scuffle. Solomon grabs his leg and is holding his leg like next to his head. And he takes the whip out of his hand and starts whipping the crap out of him. When I tell you, I was enjoying this scene so much in my head. And he said, the guy was screaming so loud.
Oh, does that hurt?
The cook came.
You didn't like that?
Right. The cook came and stood in the door, and her eyes were big as saucers, he said. And
I'm just going to mind my business.
And the wife of the overseer was standing in one of the windows watching, and her eyes were big as saucers. Neither one of them knew what to do. They were just kind of frozen in place. And his screams were so loud that the overseer heard him in the fields. Now, you know, these plantations are like 1,500 acres,
Right.
1,000 acres. I don't know where in the fields he was, but he heard the screams.
Yeah.
He comes galloping up on his horse, and Solomon sees him. He says, I got in 2 more whacks when I saw him. And when he pulled up, Solomon kicked him away. And the overseer said, what is going on here? And Tybalt starts saying something, and Solomon says, I told him that you said that if the nails were the wrong size, you'd get me the right size when you came back. And he just went to whipping on me. And Tybalt is saying something, and the overseer says, you got what you deserved.
That's funny.
And that was like my favorite scene in the book. And then Master Ford tells Tybalt that he needs to sell him to somebody else because obviously they're not a good match as master and slave.
Imagine that.
Imagine. So he gets sold to someone, I think the last name was Epps, and eventually that's who he gets rescued from. And when he gets rescued...
Oh, I bet that's the best.
Oh, my gosh.
I love rescue scenes. I love, like, people being reunited.
Yes.
Oh,
okay, and this is a real-life story, right? And it's
and that makes it even more.
It's so providential how he was rescued.
Yeah.
Like, it's almost like if you were watching a movie and it was written as a movie versus a real-life story. Is everything okay?
Yeah, I just want it.
Where is he?
There he is. I don't know. I heard him squealing earlier, so I was like, well, maybe I should just check just in case. Yeah.
So he had... Okay, so the slaves weren't allowed to learn how to read or write because they didn't want them to be educated. Mm-hmm. But he was a free man, so he already knew how to read and write. But also the people who kidnapped him told him not to tell anybody. And he wasn't allowed to have paper or pencil because why do you need that anyway if you can't write? And so one day, like 7 years into his slavery, he was able to steal a piece of paper and a pencil. And he hid it, and he wrote a letter, and he hid the letter. And he thought, well, maybe one day I'll meet a white person that I can trust because they're not going to let me mail a letter because I'm a slave. They'll look at the letter and see what it is. Blah, blah, blah.
And then they'll just think you're lying to escape and yada, yada, yada.
Yes. So there was a white guy who was married to a black woman, and they had like 3 or 4 kids. He thought, this white person might be sympathetic to me because he's got a black wife.
Yeah.
But he wasn't sure if he could trust him all the way, so he kept the letter. He never told him he actually had one. He just asked him, theoretically, if I had a letter, would you mail it, blah, blah, blah. And the guy was like, yeah, I would, blah, blah, blah. But then he went and told his master. So the next day, he's working in the field, and his master comes, and he's like, so, I hear you might want to have a letter mailed. Why would you ask someone to do that for you, or whatever? So he beat him.
Naturally.
So he took the letter and burned it because he didn't want them to find the letter. So a couple years later, there's a white guy. He comes from Canada, and he kind of just moves around. He's a carpenter, so he does carpentry work all over the country.
Yeah.
And he's down there building a cabin or building an extension of the mansion or something for the master. And so he's very outspoken about slavery, how it's wrong, this and that. And one day, Solomon actually does a lot of carpentry for the plantation, so he's helping the white guy. And so one day he talks to him about, like, if I wrote a letter, blah, blah, blah. And he said he would. And then they met secretly that night, and the white guy wrote out a letter for him. And then he mailed it. But like 8 months later, they still hadn't heard anything. And so, and they sent like 3 or 4 copies of it to different people that Solomon remembered. And so one day he was just like resigned that he was just going to be a slave forever because it had been so long since he had sent his letters. And these 2 guys come riding up, and one of them is the sheriff of the area. And it turned out that his last name, Northup, came from a family that he had known his whole life. And the guy, I think Henry Northup was the man who was currently alive and that he had written to. He was the other man. He had gone to Washington, D.C. and got a letter from the Supreme Court Justice to free this man. And there had just been, or not, maybe not just been, but there was a law that was passed that if any free man was kidnapped and sold into slavery in the South and it was found out, that the governor of that state would be required by law to find the slave or the free man and get him back up north where he lived. Yeah. So Mr. Northup and a representative from the government went to the governor, and he sent Mr. Northup with the sheriff, and they had all this information. Like they had to know the guy's wife's name, her name before she was married, who married them, like all kinds of background information. And when they rode up, at first, and this is why I say it was providential, they knew him as Solomon Northup, that's his name, but everyone where Solomon was knew him as Platt, because he was told he better not tell anyone his real name.
Right.
So when they rode up, the sheriff said, I'm looking for Solomon Northup. And the master of the plantation was outside with Solomon, but the master said, there's nobody here by that name. And Solomon says, that's me.
I've been like, excuse me.
Solomon says, that's
right
me.
Here.
And so the sheriff said, do you know this man? And he looked and he recognized him. And he said, yes, that's Henry. And so then he said, hold on, because he tried to run to him. And he said, I have to ask you questions before you talk to him.
Yeah.
And so he answered all of his questions. And the sheriff said, you're going to have to let this man go. He's a free man. And the guy was like, Platt, why didn't you tell me you were a free man?
Where's that whip? Oh, where's that whip at?
Oh, it was so good how it ended.
I love rescue scenes.
It was so good. I just really enjoyed this book.
Because they like to just get me right there.
I recommend this book to everyone.
I love that.
For sure.
You definitely made me want to read it. I love that. It was really nice. That's good. Was that the third one you read?
That was the third one.
Oh, wow. Okay. Whew.
I know.
Wow. Oh, I'm not ready. Let's see. Okay. Recently read since the 16th. I've read 3 things.
Okay. That's good.
Oh, I wanted to have so many more things done. Because I'm like reading like 5 books or something.
That's a lot of books, man.
I know, I'm crazy. Okay, so I had read, this isn't one of them, one of the 3. I had read the 100 by Cass Morgan. That's the first book in that series.
Right.
And I was thoroughly enjoying it, so I went ahead and read Day 21, which is the second book in the 100 series.
Right.
And I'm really liking it. I kind of want to keep going with the series and not read anything else that I'm currently reading. Because I've been thinking about it.
It's so good.
I just really enjoy it. Yeah, I like it a lot. So far, I like it a lot more. I don't like it a lot more than the show. There's differences that I like.
Right.
Like with some main characters' relationship in the books, I like so much more than the brief snippet that is in the show, and then like you never see them together ever again. At least I never did, because I never actually finished the show. But
there is that.
For like the first 3 seasons, though, they only interact together. And yes, ma'am. Duncan, is that you? Romantically at all, just for like 2 seconds, and then it's like, oh no, never mind. But in the book, they're like actually a couple, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah,
I enjoy them as a couple. I shipped them when I watched the show, and it never worked.
That's funny.
So I'm just really happy about that. So there's a lot of things in the book I'm liking a lot more than the show, but in the show, there's something that happens that's like pivotal, and it's not really happening the exact same way in the book.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like that better in the show. Anyway, I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, the first book had ended with like them realizing, which you find out very quickly in the show, that there's still people on Earth when they thought that there wasn't, that they thought they all died in nuclear war and stuff.
Right.
Wonder why you would think that. And so that's how it ends. And then the second book, it ends with another attempt at people coming to Earth.
Okay.
So I'll leave it at that. But yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It is YA sci-fi dystopian, so like there's some angst, you know, but it's not really bad. It's not too much. It's not bad. It's okay. I'm enjoying it. It's a fun series so far. Then I finished The Subtle Knife, which nobody was going to see this coming, which is the second book in a middle grade fantasy series. That is the sequel to The Golden Compass by Phillip Pullman, which I read like 2 years ago again. So I was like, I don't know why. I think I was driving somewhere and I was like, you know what I need? I need like a fantasy, some kind of low grade fantasy on audio while I'm driving. And I was like, you know what I should do? Try to finish stuff. So I have this book.
We talked about that on the episode that's going to go up today.
Good. Yeah. That was so long ago. So I know, finishing series, that's a thing. So I found it on the Libby app and I was listening to it, and I actually have The Subtle Knife as a paperback book because I wanted to buy it. And so I was listening to it, and then I was like, you know what? I'm going to finish it on Kindle and paperback. So I purchased it on Kindle. And so I ended up finishing that. I read almost all of it on the plane to Colorado. And then I just finished it like the night we were in Colorado or something like that. And it was good. It was like 2 years since I read The Golden Compass. So I have an idea of what happened in it, but it's not like I recapped or anything. I just sort of went into this, and like it starts off with a character that you're meeting for the first time and like was not involved whatsoever in the last book. And so I was like, hold on.
Who's this?
I missed something. But I had to just keep going, and then you end up meeting up with our main character, Lyra, again, and it was interesting. This series is like, it's a middle grade fantasy series, but like, it's like a dark middle grade I keep saying sci-fi. That's my default fantasy series. They're different.
Yes, they are.
So there was some things that happened where I was like, this is like a little upsetting and almost a little too much, I would think, for a child, because it's a little too much for me. Unless I'm just a child. So it was good. There's a third book that I actually took a loan out on already on the Libby app. I did not purchase it on Kindle. On Libby, you can get the audiobook or the ebook, and you can read the ebook. It'll send it to your Kindle.
Oh.
So convenient. That's how I read it on my Kindle. I did not purchase it. I only own it in paperback.
That's funny. So there's a character named Lyra in this series.
Yeah.
There's a little girl at church named Lyra. I wonder if they named her after the girl. I'm going to have to ask her mom.
So it's, I don't, maybe you shouldn't though. I don't really like Lyra. I don't know if she's supposed to be a likable person. In the first book, I think you like her a lot more than in this one.
Oh.
I mean, she's still your main character, but like, I don't know.
Maybe she redeems herself in the third one.
I'm hoping so. In the end of this one, she's like our other main character that you end up following. I can't think of his name now. But it's just a little boy they end up meeting and having, to save each other and all these circumstances and whatever. And so go through these adventures together. He goes back to where she's supposed to be sleeping and she's gone. And she's left an object that, like, she would not have left there. So it's like, was she in some kind of sleepwalking trance and left? Or did somebody kidnap her? Because she wouldn't have left this object knowingly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, oh, what's happening? I was trying to find his name. Will. That's his name. Will Lyra. Okay. Anyway, very different names. So yeah, I got the other one through Libby as well. The last book in this series, which is called The Amber Spyglass. So this book is all about magical items. The first one is the golden compass. This one was the subtle knife, and the next one is the amber spyglass. So I guess there's going to be an amber spyglass that has magical abilities, and we'll see. Then I finished The Shining.
Yay!
Which I have to. Hold on. Hey.
The struggle.
There we go. I love this copy. I love this cover. Okay, we're gonna do our thing. All right, you ready? Everybody's ready. There we go. Okay, that's good enough. I'll get that screenshot later. Yeah. So I read this because it was, other than it's Stephen King, and I want to read it. Because it's set in Colorado in snow. People are snowed in at the Overlook Hotel. And I thought it was perfect to read while in Colorado and in snow. And it was very atmospheric. I enjoyed it a lot. I haven't seen the movie in a long time. I watched the movie. I feel like this is 1,000 times better than the movie. Like, several things happened in this book that I do not remember happening in the movie. Mm-hmm. It's been a while, though. Could be wrong. And, like, it ends differently. Mm-hmm. So, I liked it a lot more. It was also very creepy. Very creepy. And I know I had a hard time starting it. I don't know if anybody else has experienced this when they started The Shining by Stephen King. When you are first introduced to Jack Torrance and his family, you pretty much instantly find out that because Jack he was an alcoholic and he had a problem with that, and when he would drink, he would also become very angry easily. And so he, out of a drunken rage, his 3-year-old poured beer on some papers he had in his office. And I imagine that would be very frustrating, but I wouldn't do what Jack did. And Jack, in a blind rage, didn't even stop to think, went over and yanked little Danny's arm and proceeded to break it. And then, like, in his mind, he was then spanking him. He didn't realize he broke his arm. He was spanking him, but then his spanks turned into, like, punching. And I was like, I would kill you. I would kill you.
Did he go to jail for child abuse?
He did not. He did not. He immediately felt bad and, like, loathed himself for it.
You're like, I loathe you too.
I was like, that's not good enough, Jackie. That's not good enough. But, so yeah, they took him to the hospital and they lied and said he fell down the stairs. Oh. Later on, he is able to come to terms with what he did to Danny and admits what he did and everything. But that was a hard few chapters to get through, because I was like, there's no way you would have walked out of that house alive. I would have killed you. Because don't do that. Don't do that to my sweet, precious little baby. Yeah. I don't care that he poured stuff on your papers. You're going to break his arm? I'm going to break your arm.
and punch him.
Oh, so that was rough.
And he was 3?
Yeah. Just, a little older than Stetson.
Yeah.
Woohoo, boy. But, yeah. So that was hard to get through. But then the rest of the book is very quick paced, and it's very creepy, and he's just such a good author. Like, everything I read by him, it's like so well written and so like immersive. It feels like you just like are there and you can really see these characters, and I just enjoy it. So yeah, I actually finished it last night.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was good timing.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I've got to finish it before we record. I could have finished it 2 nights ago, but I was just so tired. I read like 1 chapter and I was like, okay, I'm just going to go upstairs and read on my Kindle. Then I got upstairs and I didn't want to read on my Kindle. I just went to sleep. So
You're tired from your vacation.
Yeah, I know. And what's funny is I was reading this paperback version and I was like, I don't want to stop reading. Let me buy it on Kindle. Thankfully, it wasn't full price. It was only like $3.99, $4.99, something pretty cheap. I was like, I think on my Kindle, I've read The Shining. Like, I think I read like 2 or 3 chapters total.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's good though.
You gotta do what you gotta do, I guess. But then I ended up finishing the paperback last night. It was really good. Yeah, it was very creepy. It was just interesting. I don't feel like you've ever seen The Shining. Yeah, that's not something I feel like you would have wanted to watch.
I've seen The Langoliers.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Excuse me.
Weird movie. I've seen part of, was it Cujo?
Oh, okay.
What it is?
Yeah, I haven't seen or read that.
I didn't care for that at all.
There's a new cover of that I really like, but I've not read or seen Cujo.
I've seen Misery. Loved it.
Misery's that's a good book too.
I feel like there's one more that I've either seen part or all of it, but I'm not sure. But those for sure.
Pet Sematary?
No, that scares the life out of me just even thinking about it.
That one was like the least scary to me so far that I've read by him.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, the movies are a little bit creepier because you can see it.
Right.
But yeah, I read that one and I was like, not really that scary. I mean, to me, it wasn't that scary. There was like one scene in Pet Sematary in the book that I was like, oh, it's a little creepy. And then that was...
That was it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one was creepy. And like, that's why I say he's such a good author. Because like, one of the scenes that really creeped me out is you're following Danny and he's just alone wandering the halls in the Overlook Hotel. And there's like an old fire hose extinguisher mounted on the...
Oh, wow.
Just broke my finger. On the wall, but it's like one of the ones that was a hose attached to the water system. And it's just like, Danny's like, he relates it to a snake at first when he sees it, and he starts building up fear in himself because he's like 7. And he's like, no, calm down. You're fine. And he's going to... room 217 where he was told specifically not to go. So he's being a little bad boy, but he's going there, but he has to pass the water hose and he's like, it's fine. It's not a snake. It's just a water hose. Chill out, me. But then he starts to walk and then he's like, did it move? It's like the nozzle was following him, like it was eyes. And then when he's not looking, he's like, he hears a thump and he's like, what was that? He turns and it's like the hose is on the ground. And he's like, Which, it's like, is that really scary? But I think how it was written, you're in Danny's point of view. So a child, and it creeped me out. Yeah. I was like, this is creepy. Like, what else? What else happens after that? It was creepy. And then later on, Jack Torrance is in the hedge garden. He has to trim them before the snowfall. And they're like shaped like animals and stuff. So it's not a maze. Like I think in the movie it's a maze. And there's like a big hedge rabbit, 2 lions, a dog, and he's out there trimming them. And then he's like he gets bored and he starts wandering around. He looks at the children's playground, and then he starts to hear rustling and stuff. And he's like, what is that? And he turns around, and he's like, that hedge rabbit was not where it is now. Like, something's off. And then he continues, and hears more noises, and he turns, and it's like, that lion is closer to me than it was. And he looks at the rabbit, and the rabbit's head is turned and stuff. It's just like, it was written so well that it was just very eerie.
Yeah.
And then there's a little scene where little Danny is playing. It's already snowfall. There's like 4 feet of snow out in the playground and stuff. And he goes out to the playground, and his parents are asleep in the house, like taking a nap. And so nobody knows he's outside. And he goes, and there's like these big concrete, I was like, should I say cement? I don't know. It doesn't matter. Pipes that, you can play in.
Mm-hmm.
And so he digs a hole, and he's like pretending he's like this adventurer and stuff. And I really enjoyed the creepy scenes from his point of view, because it was like, oh, it's scary when you're a child.
Yeah.
It's scary. And he's digging, and he gets into the pipe, and he's like pretending he's like this adventurer or whatever. But then he hears something on the other end of the pipe, and it's dark, and it was like chilling.
Get out,
I was like, get out. And he starts to panic, because then like some of the snow caves in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then he starts to have this panic moment where he's like, I'm not going to be able to get out. My mommy and daddy don't know I'm in here. It was creepy.
Oh, that's scary.
I know, Becky. It scared the bejeebus out of me. And he gets out, though. Everything's fine. Yeah, it was good. It was creepy. I think in the movie, his wife and Danny survive by leading him out to the hedge maze, and he gets lost and then freezes to death.
Oh.
In the hedge maze. But that is like completely not what happens in the book. He dies because he like gets possessed by the hotel. So sorry. And so like he's not himself anymore. There's no going back. There's one moment when Danny's talking to him and like trying to convince him that the hotel's like lying to him and stuff, and for just a second he comes back and he's like, Danny, you gotta run, because I don't have control over this. But other than that, it's like he's completely possessed by the hotel. There's like no coming back from it. And yeah, I don't remember what I was gonna say, but
you were talking about how it ended differently.
Yeah, it just ended differently. They don't trap him out in the maze. The hotel blows up. So
Oh.
yeah, like it's a completely different ending. Because like there's a boiler in the basement he has to take care of. He has to check it like 3 times a day.
Uh-huh.
And because he started to get so overtaken by the hotel and the ghosts in the hotel and stuff, he only checked it that morning and then like never went back to check it. So the temperature was just creeping up because it was an old boiler. That's apparently what they do. I don't know. And so and the guy who told him about it, he was like, you gotta check it every couple, a few times a day, because it's gonna creep up. And I'm telling you, once it gets to a certain temperature, she's gonna blow. So it ends up happening. But Danny and his mom make it out. So that's good. Which they do in the movie. So,
So it was a happy ending then.
Yeah.
You didn't like Jack anyway.
Nope.
So.
Sure didn't. And what was so awful, like, he was able to write Jack in such a way that in the beginning you hate him. Like, I hated him. And I know I would have hated him if I hadn't had my own child.
Right.
But, like, that just increases it. And then later on, it's like, you see, like, just, like, the banter between him and his wife. And it's like, they're so happy. Like, they love each other so much. And it's so great. He loves Danny so much. And he was off alcohol and everything. Like, he was really working on it and stuff. And it's like, why can't you just not snapped his arm in the beginning? I can't get past it. But then, you end up going back and forth and battling with yourself like, dang, I kind of hope Jack makes it out of this whole situation. But then,
He doesn't.
Yeah, I mean.
Wah.
Yeah, oh well. Dress. So, I don't know. It was really good. And there's a sequel. It's called Dr. Sleep, which I have upstairs. Faith actually got that for me for my birthday years ago. Really nice of her. Yeah, she had gotten me. I specifically remember this. She had gotten me Dr. Sleep, and she had gotten me The Long Walk, which I've already read, by Stephen King. And that one was really short.
Did he write The Green Mile?
He did.
I've seen that.
Yeah, I've seen that.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I haven't read it. It's a good movie, though.
You said The Long Walk, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. The Long Walk, The Green Mile. Long Walk. And he also, there's a movie that just came out, or is coming out, called The Running Man. I don't know if you've seen, where he's like in that competition that if he can survive, he gets like oodles of money, I guess. I don't know. But Stephen King wrote that.
Okay.
Isn't that interesting? I find it interesting because I like, yeah, your first thought is that he is writes terror. He writes terror books, which he does mainly, I think. But then he writes all these other books. It's like kind of crazy.
I love a psychological thriller.
Oh, yeah.
I don't mind a thriller. I don't mind being scared.
Yeah.
It's the gory stuff that I don't like.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of child abuse.
Yeah.
In real life or in fiction.
I wouldn't like that either.
Yeah. But I did for a minute. I was like, was this a mistake? Was this a mistake?
I'm reading the wrong book.
Yeah. But once you get through that, it gets a lot better. So, yeah, I really liked it. I do plan on reading Dr. Sleep at some point, hopefully sooner rather than later, so I don't completely lose all the information.
Right.
About, I think Dr. Sleep is mainly about Danny as an adult, I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I think so, though. So.
And the trauma he went through here?
Probably. Yeah. Probably. His ability to shine. He can see ghosts and hear thoughts and all the weird things. All the supernatural things that he likes to throw in his books.
Nice.
Yeah. That's all I have finished. We've been talking for a while. We've been talking for an hour.
A whole hour?
Well, 52 minutes, but
that's crazy.
That's crazy. What are you currently reading?
I'm still just reading Secrets of the White House.
Oh, okay.
I have progressed.
Is it because you're physically reading
it?
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, I've progressed some, but not. There have been 3 times I could have read it this week, and I haven't. So.
Yeah. You shared something on Facebook that I think it was Cameron Trost.
Mm-hmm.
Something about him in a book.
Yeah.
And
he wrote something.
And he sounds like I would enjoy his stories.
I think so. Let's see. I don't remember.
Especially the one you were. It was called the Anku. It was the potential scary entity or person.
That's Dead on the Doleman.
Yeah.
That I just read.
And that reminds me a lot of The Creeper by A.M. Shine.
He wrote a book called Flicker. And let's see.
Hopefully you can't hear my tummy growl.
I did, but I don't think it was on the
Comment below if you heard my tummy growl.
Where does it?
This is probably going to be a lengthy episode.
Don't worry,
because it happens when we haven't talked for 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. Here's where it is. In a world without hope, can deliverance from tyranny be found in the head of a matchstick? This is the story of Flicker, a pyromaniac whose only escape from the emptiness and oppression of life in a post-apocalyptic world is to set fire to luxury automobiles. Armed with a hammer and jerry can, he wages a one-man war against the overclass, partisans of the falling regime struggling to hold the reins since the breakdown decades earlier. He can't remember his family, and his friends have disappeared without a trace. His only companion is fire, that mesmerizing force of glorious destruction. It alone gives meaning to his existence, but one night he goes too far and unwittingly chooses a target best left alone.
And I know you tagged me specifically, and I was like, it's because it's post-apocalyptic.
Yeah. You are correct.
It sounds good. It honestly makes me think of The Stand. So, that sounds good. Okay, so you're only reading Secrets of the White House, right?
Yes.
Currently, at the moment. Okay. I was reading 5, actually. I'm wrong because I just finished The Shining. So 4.
Okay.
A whopping 4. Although this says 3, so maybe I'm lying.
You're always lying.
I am still reading Mere Christianity, by C.S. Lewis. I mean, I just haven't really progressed a whole lot. Before we went on a vacation, I did sit down and actually physically read it back to where I had listened. So it's like I really haven't technically progressed. I just wanted to get back to where I was,
You
but
just
in the physical book.
re-listened?
Yeah, basically. Then I started a short story collection called Before the Sink Overflows and Other Warning Signs of Hope by Drew G. Rosen.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on Kindle Unlimited. And I like short story collections, I don't know. And it is only 103 pages. 103. Sound like I said 30. And so that's pretty short. It has the word before in it, so it applies to that buzzword challenge I'm trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna randomly be bringing that up every now and then. See if I actually complete stuff. And I started it on my Kindle. I read like the first 2 stories, and I was like, am I gonna like this? Because they were so short. I mean, so short. Like, too short. Like, in short stories, I mean, yes, they are shorter than a novella.
Mm-hmm.
But like, you follow the characters, and you, like, learn something about them. But in the first 2 short stories, I'm having problems. Sorry. They were so quick that, like, I had no time to get to know anybody. I didn't know anything about anyone. Why would I care about these people? So I was like, I don't know, man. But then I read the next one, the third one, and it was distinctly longer. And I feel like I actually got to read something instead of like 2 sentences, basically.
Right.
So they're okay. I'm not done with it. I don't know. It wouldn't take me long to get through, but like, I don't know. Should have started with the 3rd story in the book and then put the 2 ones that are short after. I don't know. They're okay. They all have this tiny message of hope in each story. And that's fun and nice and sentimental. But like, I don't know if I'm in the mood for nice and sentimental. That's my problem. So I don't know, man. I'll probably keep reading it. It was good. The 3rd one was good. A good short story. Oh, smack me.
Short.
And,
it's a problem.
Yeah. So I don't know. Then I was going to read this book on the way to Colorado on the plane, but I got scared to do it. So I was reading The Subtle Knife by Phillip Pullman on the plane. I started though on the way back here because I was able to put my big girl pants on. It's called Missing in Flight by Audrey J. Cole. It's a thriller set on a plane, but it's not a thriller about a plane crashing. It's just people on the plane. Something's happening with the people, but the plane's fine. Everyone's fine. So it's like, I got a little like timid about it though at first because like, what if I'm wrong? What if the plane's going down? I can't handle it while I'm on the plane. I can't handle it. So then I was reading it on the way back, and that was Missing in Flight by Audrey J. Cole, and it's about the woman who she's on a plane with her 3-month-old baby. And she's in the special aisle where they can also put the bassinet up. So he's in the little bassinet, and she's like, boy, I have to pee. But she's flying alone with him, and she doesn't want to wake him up because he's sleeping soundly on the plane. And so she turns to her aisle neighbor, and is like, hey, can you watch him for just a second? I'm just going to go to the bathroom and come back. And she's like, sure. She gets up, goes to the bathroom, comes back, and would you know it? Her baby's not in the bassinet. There's a pillow underneath the blanket that somebody put there. And she's like, where's my baby? You were watching him. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, I wasn't I didn't know you had a baby. Apparently she misheard her. And thought she was talking about the bathroom. But she was talking about the bathroom, so I think she's in on it. I'm not done with it.
I was about to ask you, okay, I need to know, is she crazy? Or did she actually have a baby?
That is a thing that is happening right now, the authorities are like, was there actually a baby? Because she went to, I think she flew, I don't know where she's flying back to, I don't remember, but somewhere on the East Coast, I think. But she flew to Washington and was there with her dad, Alaska. She flew to Alaska, sorry. Was there with her dad, and they like went on a hike and everything. They hung out, and the baby was there. There's baby in the pictures. Baby exists. Okay, he's real. And the authorities had called him, and they're like, "Look, your grandson's missing on this plane. We don't know how that could happen." And he's like, "Well, he was here, and I dropped them off at the airport, and she seemed fine." And now he's like, second guessing, was she actually not fine? And I just didn't notice. Because his wife, her mom, had this dementia, this like sudden dementia that caused her to lose her memory and everything. And she ended up dying from it. And so they're like worried that she's actually not okay and that she's actually having these symptoms pop up. And what did she do with the baby? Mm-hmm. So you see on the security cameras at the airport that she got out with the baby, went into the airport. Then by the time she goes through TSA, she has a baby wrap on, and there's a bundle, but you can't see a baby.
Right.
You just know that there's something there. And so they're like, we don't know if he's even on the plane. And at that point, if he's not on the plane, where is he? Oh, it's freaky. But I think
no one found a baby at the airport.
So far, allegedly. I'm only like halfway through, so there's a lot of room for other things to happen. I don't think she's crazy. Crazy. That's not what I mean. I don't think she's having an episode like that. I think he's on the plane somewhere. I think somebody took him. Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you right now, I'm bringing this whole plane down with me if you don't give me my child. So, it's pretty good so far. It's very fast-paced, very quick. And it's on Kindle Unlimited. You're welcome. So, that's it. That's all for me. I do have the Amber Spyglass, the third book in the golden. It's actually called His Dark Materials, is the series. Oh. But the third one in that I have it on my Kindle, and I want to read that soon. I also want to read Homecoming by Kass Morgan, which is the third one in the 100 series. Mm-hmm. I want to read that really soon. Maybe I'll read Dr. Sleep soon. I don't know. Yeah, I might have something else on my Kindle to haul. So we can go ahead and get into that. You finally have your haul.
I do.
I saw books up there, and I was trying not to be nosy. So go ahead, Becky.
Okay, the first one...
I think you can probably hear me yelling upstairs.
Is
I'm excited.
It's called Beneath Blackwood. Mm. And the author is Courtney N. Johnson. And this is the book that I was talking about that when I said Gabrielle Meyer wrote it. Obviously, that was a lie. Courtney Johnson wrote it.
Why are you lying?
But I did want to mention that Gabrielle Meyer wrote a series that I am interested in reading.
Okay.
It's called the Dollar Princess series. So it looks really good. It's To Dance with a Duke, To Love a Lady, To Endure an Earl. Mm. I don't know. I'm assuming To Dance with a Duke is the first one because it's prominent. But yeah, I actually don't know the answer to that question. But she's the one who wrote that book, 7 Brides for 7 Texans, that we talked about in the book tag. So, yeah. Anyway, Beneath Blackwood. Look at this. Look at that cover.
I like it.
It reminds me of the Southern Book Club's guide.
Yeah, because the blood. Yes, it almost looks like it's not a bite into the apple, but it looks
like it.
Yeah.
So this is the YA that I was talking about. It says 17-year-old Willow Lane has always called Blackwood Grove home, but ever since her aunt moved in, the house feels colder and the town's smiles feel practiced. While cleaning out her mother's old things, Willow finds a note written in the secret cipher her mom once used, pulling her into a mystery the town has long tried to bury. Each clue leads her deeper into the orchard roots and chapel pews that built Blackwood's charm and its lies. As she pieces together what really happened the night her mother died, Willow uncovers a legacy of faith, power, and silence that still grips the town today. So, it sounds good.
Yeah.
So, at some point this year I'm going to read that, but I have to finish reading Secrets of the White House, and then I want to read that pumpkin spice book.
You're going to give yourself a genre whiplash.
I know. Then I got
I saw that
be reading by Anne Bogel.
Yeah.
So cute.
I love that book.
So.
I have that book.
And what's it about, Perky?
It's a nonfiction book that she wrote, basically like a love letter to reading. And it's just like, she kind of goes over her life and reading related things, book things that happened and how it's impacted her life and like the comforts of reading and stuff like that. It's really good. It's a really good book.
So I finally got that.
I think you'll enjoy that.
And then I got,
woo!
This is actually Ella's book, Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka.
I don't like the beetle legs. I'm telling you right now.
My sister would hate this.
That's giving me the creeps.
It's very short, right?
Yeah, it's very short.
Let's see. Frank Kafka's classic 1915 novella of unexplained horror and nightmarish transformation remains a century later one of the most widely read works of fiction in the world. It is the story of traveling salesman Gregor Samsa, who wakes one morning to find himself transformed into some sort of monstrous insect.
I feel like I've heard of this.
Huh?
Sorry, keep going. I'm sorry.
This hugely influential work inspired George Orwell, Albert Camus, Jorge Luis Borges, and Ray Bradbury, while continuing... I'm having the same issue you're having. While continuing to unsettle millions of readers. In her new translation of Kafka's masterpiece, Susan Bernofsky strives to capture both the humor and the humanity in this macabre tale, underscoring the ways in which Samsa's grotesque metamorphosis is just the physical manifestation of his long-standing spiritual impoverishment.
Wow.
So.
I feel like I've heard of that. That's what I said when I rudely interrupted.
You're fine. When it says metamorphosis into a nightmarish bug, it makes me think of The Fly.
Yeah. I couldn't think of what it was called.
We should look it up and see if it's written by one of those authors and see if it was influenced by this.
Yeah.
Okay, lastly, everyone's going to laugh at me. Ella had this book in my cart, and I guess she said she had it in there in Spanish, and I guess I noticed it was in Spanish, so I thought I changed it to English. 5 Survive is the title. I don't know if you can read that or not. That's French, you guys.
It's in French.
It's in French. And Ella goes,
"That's impossible."
Ella goes, I can't read French. I said, "Well, I guess you better learn French."
That's funny. I saw 5 Survive and I saw Holly Jackson and I was like, "Oh, I bet it's good." I mean, I'm sure it's good, but like,
I'll never know.
I know. I mean, she could like Google Translate the whole thing while she's going.
We talked about that. That's funny.
Holly Jackson's good. I've only read one book by her, but I really think she's good.
So
not Faith. I'm sorry. Lexi has read like almost all of her books, and she's so good. She's probably like her favorite author.
I'm gonna have to reorder this in English.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wonder if you could sell it to a bookstore.
I don't know. I want Ella to learn French, so
good luck.
We'll see. She actually has been learning French. She knows a lot. Like she used to say, "Mom, do you know what the word for horse is in French?" I'm like, "No, I don't know." And I forget what it is, but I was like, "Oh, well, that makes sense." But anyway, so I don't know that she's actually been doing her French, but maybe this will encourage her. I don't know.
That is so funny. I was about to say, I could maybe... I'd rather it be in Spanish.
Yeah. I could probably figure out some of what it was saying. Maybe not all, but...
Oh, that's so funny. That's another author I want to keep in a series, a Good Girl's Guide to Murder. Mm-hmm. Guide to Murder. Guy?
Yeah. Good Girl's Guide
to Murder. Yeah. Good Girl, Bad Blood is the second book, and I have it on my Kindle. I, immediately purchased it, and I haven't read it. So.
You have time.
Yeah. It's good.
It's only March.
Yeah. I know. Relax. Relax. So, I have a haul. I almost forgot. Oh, my. So, let's start with this. Don't look at that cover.
Yes, ma'am.
The Intruder by Frieda McFadden. Tell me why it's hardcover.
That's a great question.
It does have nice sprayed edges, though. Or stenciled edges. Whatever.
Yeah.
But that's our book club book.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know if she accidentally ordered hardcover or if it was only available in hardcover, but I'm filing a complaint. Because
here and now.
It's on Kindle Unlimited. I don't want the hardcover.
You're such a psycho.
I am. Maybe it'll
just
be
read that darn book.
I probably will. I can do it. I've done it before, but it's kind of hard for me. Yeah, maybe it'll be life-changing though, and I'll be like, I can't get rid of it now. I can't. No offense. I like Frieda McFadden so far, just generally. I don't think it'll be life-changing though. So, then my sister-in-law, I don't know if she bought this for me or if this is her copy. I need to clarify.
So you don't know if this is on loan?
Yeah. The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. Yes.
If she gave it to you, how dare she?
How dare she? How dare you spend only $7? Yeah.
I can't believe this is only $7.
I know. She got it, thrift.
Oh, that makes sense.
Something like that, And I just don't remember. She sent me a picture of it, but I couldn't remember if it was in her house already or if it was she's at the store. I'll just ask. It doesn't matter. But I am interested.
She watches the episode and she's like, it's mine.
That's like, give it back. I already have 3 of her other books upstairs still.
I'm never getting any books back from Brooke.
She is so generous though. She probably wouldn't even care. I'm not going to keep them on purpose, but she's so nice. But yeah, something about Addie LaRue becomes invisible or has always been sort of invisible to people. She's not invisible, but they don't see her. It's maybe you see something in the peripheral vision and you look and there's nothing there kind of thing. And so she's been invisible basically her whole life. And I think one day a guy sees her and she's like, you see me? Can we be friends? So I don't know. I don't even know what genre that goes under. I think it's a fantasy book or magical realism book. I don't know. I've never read V.E. Schwab, but I am interested in reading things by V.E. Schwab. So we'll see what happens. Then I got The Dead Zone.
Okay.
I love this cover.
It's nice.
By Stephen King. I don't even know what it's about.
Who cares? It's Stephen King.
Who cares? I saw this cover in the Charleston airport months ago. And I was like, I really like that cover. But, you can't buy books at the airport. Come on. You can get it for so much cheaper somewhere else. Don't buy a book in the airport. Unless you really forgot your Kindle or a book. I get it. Gotta have something. So, yeah, I guess I'll read the back. I don't know, why not? When Johnny Smith was 6 years old, head trauma caused by a bad ice skating accident left him with a nasty bruise on his forehead, and from time to time, those hunches. Infrequent but accurate snippets of things to come. Oh, sounds like you've got The Shining, Johnny. But it isn't until Johnny's a grown man, now having survived a horrifying auto injury that plunged him into a coma, lasting 4.5 years, that his special abilities really push to the really push to the fore. Johnny Smith has come back from the void with an extraordinary gift that becomes his life's curse, presenting visions of what was said. That's not what that says. Visions of what was and what will be for both the innocent and the guilty alike. But when he encounters a ruthlessly ambitious and amoral man... Amoral?
Amoral.
Okay, that's what I thought. But I was like, I've never said that.
They have no morals.
Yeah. And an amoral man who promises... I'm like, just say it right. I'm saying that right. It was the rest of the sentence. I'm just throwing words in that don't... who promises a terrifying fate for all humanity. Johnny must find a way to prevent a harrowing predestination from becoming reality. And
you're not allowed to read next episode.
What's going on? I'm just throwing things in there. Sounds interesting. Sounds like you've got the shining, Johnny Smith. You should meet Danny Torrance. Y'all can talk about it. Yeah. Then there's one more. I got The Assassin's Blade.
I recognize that title.
By Sarah J. Maas. This is I don't know if this is the first book. I think this is actually a prequel to Throne of Glass.
Mm-hmm.
The Throne of Glass series. I don't even know. Faith told me to start with this one.
Okay.
So, in the Throne of Glass series. Yeah. So I literally don't know much about it, the series or this. But I was like, I asked her about reading Game of Thrones.
Mm-hmm.
And through our conversation, she was like, start with this instead. So basically, that is not word for word our conversation at all. But
obviously.
So, and I'm glad it's the newer cover because I don't like the covers with the people on them.
Oh,
most of the time, I just don't really enjoy them. I don't like them. Yeah. So maybe I'll read a fantasy at some point. Hopefully, I bought it in Colorado, so hopefully I do. I like the colors. That's my haul. I had a book on my Kindle from Libby that is called The Magician's Nephew.
Mm-hmm.
By C.S. Lewis.
Oh.
I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. It is the first book in the Chronicles of Narnia.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's before, I think it's a prequel.
Okay.
But yeah, before The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Okay.
So I had it on my Kindle. I actually think it's the loan's about to be up.
Ooh.
Never got to it. So that's all. That's all I've got.
I don't even know why you included it, though.
I know. Because I'm like, maybe I'll borrow it. I don't know.
Oh, well, we'll have to find out next week.
I know. Maybe I'll be able to finish something before then and move on to other things.
Well, time will tell.
Yeah.
That's it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, thank you as always, Kindred Spirits. It's wonderful to know that there are so many of you in the world. We really appreciate your support. We hope that you enjoy our videos. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't. We love comments. Nice comments. You don't have to be mean. And a shout out again, as always, to Sideways Sheriff. Check him out. He's on YouTube as well. He's on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok.
Yep.
If you don't know what drifting is, just check him out. It's kind of cool. You might actually want to go to a drifting event, so check it out. And then we do have merchandise for sale. We have t-shirts, mouse pads, tote bags, notepads. So if you're interested in anything that you might want to purchase, let us know. We'll get it to you. And thank you to Miss Tracy for working on that stuff for us. And I guess that's it from us. Until next time, stay happily booked.
Bye.
Bye.